Welcome to the March 2024 edition of the GECF Monthly Gas Market Report. We would like to present a short overview of the main highlights of the report, which include the major developments in the gas market during the last month. Global GDP growth for 2024 is projected at 2.9% by Oxford Economics. In the US, GDP growth is projected at 2.4%, while in the euro area, it is projected at 0.5%. Looking forward to 2025, global economic growth is expected to accelerate, with the global GDP growth projected at 3.3%. Global inflation is expected to continue its downward trend in 2024, reaching an annual average of 4.4%, from 6.1% in 2023. In February 2024, following a double-digit growth in January, EU gas demand experienced a significant decline of 8% year-on-year, primarily driven by warmer than usual winter, which reduced heating requirements in the residential sector. Additionally, there was a noticeable stagnation in gas consumption within the industrial sector, which occurred despite a downward trend in gas prices. Moreover, high wind and hydroelectric power output significantly influenced the reduction in gas consumption within the power generation sector. Regarding electricity production, gas-based generation in the EU experienced a 24% year-on-year decline, while total electricity production modestly increased by 0.4%, reaching 212 terawatt-hours. In February 2024, the US experienced a 3.4% year-on-year decline in gas consumption, reaching 80 BCM. The mild weather significantly reduced gas demand for power generation and heating in the residential and commercial sectors, with decreases of 2%, 7% and 12% year-on-year, respectively. Likewise, the industrial sector witnessed a 1.5% drop in gas consumption. In January 2024, China's apparent gas demand, which includes pipeline imports, LNG imports, and domestic production, rose by 8.7% compared to the previous year, reaching 37 BCM. This increase in gas consumption is attributed to the cold spell and the revival of economic activities following the decline in gas prices. Europe saw a 1.2% year-on-year decrease in gas production in January 2024, reaching a total of 17.4 BCM. This decline was largely due to reduced output in the Netherlands and the UK, key producers in the region, although it was slightly compensated by the rise in Norway's production. In the US, the major shale gas-producing regions reported a 5% year-on-year increase in production to total 83 BCM in February 2024. This was driven mainly by stronger gas production from the Permian region. China's gas production maintained its sustained growth in 2023, to reach 209 BCM with 4% year-on-year rise, after December 2023 recorded a gas output of 20.4 BCM. Notably, the gas production output in January 2024 reached 20.8 BCM as a monthly average level for the beginning of the year, with a 5.9% year-on-year rise. In terms of new discoveries, in January 2024, approximately 134 million barrels of oil equivalent of hydrocarbon volumes were discovered, with gas amounting to 4 BCM. With this result, 2024 was off to a slow start in its exploration activity, compared to 380 million barrels of oil equivalent discovered in January 2023. In February 2024, the EU imported 12 BCM of PNG, a 7% decline from the volume recorded in the previous month, but 5% higher than was imported 1 year ago. There were decreases in PNG imports via almost all supply routes from January to February 2024. For Russia, supply via the Turkstream pipeline was unchanged and accounted for 51% of its exports. Meanwhile, Algeria delivered 62% of its PNG exports to Italy. In January 2024, China imported an estimated 6 BCM of PNG, which was an increase of 3% month-on-month, and a significant 31% higher year-on-year. Global LNG imports experienced little change from the previous year, totaling 34 million tons in February 2024. Nevertheless, the Asia-Pacific, LAC and MENA regions witnessed upticks in LNG imports, counterbalancing the dip in imports observed in Europe and North America. Increased gas consumption in specific countries and declining spot LNG prices, which spurred demand in price-sensitive markets, were key factors behind the rise in LNG imports in the Asia-Pacific region. Conversely, reduced gas consumption and a notable price differential of spot LNG between Asia-Pacific and Europe were the main drivers behind the decrease in LNG imports in Europe. On the supply side, global LNG exports were up marginally by 1.0% year-on-year to stand at 34 million tons, supported by stronger exports from Algeria, Australia, Malaysia, Mozambique, Nigeria, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates and the United States. The net gas withdrawal season continued in the EU, and the average daily volume of gas in storage in February 2024 decreased to 69 BCM or 66% filled capacity. Compared with 1 year ago, there were 1.1 BCM more gas in storage than in February 2023, and 17 BCM more gas in storage than the 5-year average for the month. The combined volume of LNG in storage in Japan and South Korea in January fell by 14% month-on-month to an estimated 10 BCM. The US is also experiencing net gas withdrawals, with the average daily volume of gas in storage in February falling to 71 BCM, which was 7 BCM higher year-on-year, and represents 53% of capacity. Gas and LNG spot prices in Europe and Asia declined for the third consecutive month, influenced by sustained bearish market fundamentals. On the demand side, spot prices were pressured by above normal temperatures in Europe and Asia. Concurrently, robust LNG supply and elevated storage levels ensured ample supply in both regions. The average TTF spot price stood at $8.10 per MMBTU, reflecting a decline of 15% month-on-month. In addition, the average Northeast Asia spot LNG price experienced a 12% month-on-month decrease, reaching $8.80 per MMBTU. In the upcoming months, increased demand from price-sensitive countries in South and Southeast Asia could potentially bolster spot prices. Thank you for watching this short video presentation on the March 2024 edition of the GECF Monthly Gas Market Report. We invite you to download the full report from our website at www.gecf.org, or you can scan the QR code.